Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered if your investments are actually making the world a better place? It's a question more and more people are asking. We all want our money to grow, but what if we could grow our wealth while also supporting companies that align with our personal values? What if you could invest in a future that's greener, fairer, and more transparent? Well, the great news is you can. Today, we're diving deep into the world of ethical investing, specifically focusing on something called ESG. This isn't just a trend, it's a powerful way to put your money where your heart is. So if you're ready to learn how to make an impact with your portfolio, stick around. First things first, what exactly is this ESG thing everyone's talking about? ESG stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance. Think of it as a report card for companies, but instead of grading them on just profits, it grades them on how they impact the world. It's a framework used to evaluate a company's conscientiousness and long-term sustainability. Let's break it down letter by letter. E is for environmental. BIS is the green part of ESG. It looks at how a company performs as a steward of nature. We're talking about things like a company's carbon footprint, their policies on climate change, how they manage waste and pollution, and whether they're using resources like water and energy efficiently. For example, a company that invests heavily in renewable energy and has a clear plan to reduce its emissions would score high on the environmental front. On the flip side, a company with a history of oil spills or one that ignores environmental regulations would score very poorly. This criterion helps you identify businesses that are actively working to protect our planet for future generations. Next up, S is for social. This criterion examines how a company manages relationships with its employees, suppliers, customers, and the communities where it operates. It's all about people. Does the company have good labor practices? Do they ensure workplace safety? Are they committed to diversity and inclusion in their hiring and promotions? The S also looks at data privacy and security. How well do they protect your information? A company that pays its workers a fair wage, fosters a positive and inclusive culture, and gives back to its community will have a strong social score. It's about investing in businesses that treat people with respect and dignity. Finally, we have G for governance. This one might sound a bit corporate, but it's incredibly important. Governance deals with a company's leadership, executive pay, audits, internal controls, and shareholder rights. Essentially, it's about how the company is run. Is the leadership team transparent and accountable? Are there checks and balances to prevent corruption or unethical behavior? For example, a company with a diverse board of directors, fair executive compensation, and a strong record of shareholder engagement would get a high governance score. Good governance is the backbone of a well-run, trustworthy company, and it's often a strong indicator of its long-term stability and success. So you have this ESG framework, but how do you actually use it to invest? You don't have to go and research thousands of companies one by one. That's where ESG funds come in. These are mutual funds, or ETFs, exchange-traded funds, that are specifically designed to invest in companies that meet certain ESG standards. They do the heavy lifting for you. Financial institutions and rating agencies like MSCI and Sustainalytics analyze companies and assign them ESG scores. Fund managers then use these scores to build a portfolio of what they consider to be the best-in-class ESG companies. One of the most popular and accessible options for beginners is something like the Vanguard ESG US stock ETF, often known by its ticker symbol ESGV. This fund, for instance, aims to track an index of US companies that have been screened for specific ESG criteria. It excludes companies involved in industries like fossil fuels, firearms, and tobacco. So, by investing in a single fund like this, you're instantly diversifying your money across hundreds of companies that have already passed an ethical filter. There are many other ESG funds out there, focusing on different regions, industries, or specific values, like clean energy or gender equality. This makes it easier than ever to build a portfolio that reflects what's important to you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but does it actually pay off? Is there a trade-off between investing ethically and getting good returns? This is the million-dollar question, and for a long time, the common belief was that you had to sacrifice performance for principles. But that idea is rapidly changing. A growing body of research suggests that this is not necessarily true. In fact, many studies have shown that companies with strong ESG practices can actually outperform their peers over the long run. Think about it logically. A company that manages its environmental risks well is less likely to face costly fines or cleanup bills. A company that treats its employees well is more likely to attract and retain top talent, leading to higher productivity and innovation. And a company with strong governance is less likely to be plagued by scandals that can destroy shareholder value. ESG criteria are essentially a lens for identifying well-managed, forward-thinking companies that are prepared for the challenges and opportunities of the future. They're often more resilient and better positioned for sustainable, long-term growth. But while past performance is never a guarantee of future results, the data increasingly shows that investing with your values does not mean you have to compromise on your financial goals. In many cases, it can enhance them. I'm really curious to know where you all stand on this. I'm putting up a poll right now. When you invest, do you prioritize ESG factors? Let me know your thoughts. Yes, no, or maybe you're just starting to consider it. It'll be fascinating to see what our community thinks. Drop a comment below and tell me why. What values are most important to you when it comes to your money? So, to wrap things up, ethical investing, particularly through the ESG framework, is no longer a niche strategy for a select few. It is a mainstream movement that empowers all of us to have a say in the kind of world we want to live in. By evaluating companies based on their environmental, social, and governance practices, You can build a portfolio that not only has the potential for strong financial returns, but also contributes to positive change. Whether it's tackling climate change, promoting social justice, or demanding corporate accountability, your investment choices can be a powerful tool. You can align your finances with your ethics, and thanks to the wide variety of ESG funds now available, it's more accessible than ever before. You don't have to choose between doing good and doing well. You can do both. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you a clear and helpful introduction to the world of ESG investing. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. We've got a lot more content coming to help you navigate your financial journey. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.